Alright, we're back with more Final Fantasy 1. I gotta go find this pedestal in this really annoying dungeon. Now that we have the staff that lets us progress. Yeah, metaphorical fire. You never know. We've been having pretty big forest fires in the area. Not as bad as the Pacific Northwest, but in California. Way too many fires. This dungeon is so mean. It's definitely the do it again meme. I like those games though, Yukipo, where it's like you're thinking about the game when you're not playing it. Soulsborne series has always done that for me, and like when MMOs are new, they give me that feeling. I've been directing a playthrough of Bloodborne for Andrea, and it's kind of fun to be playing that again. I think this room is progress. Nice knife attack, Black Mage. What kind of game is Crusader Kings 3? Is it like more like Civilization than like an RTS? Much better job, team. Proud of y'all. Realish time 4X game. Okay. And Civ is like Fisher-Price 4X. It's the less complicated variety. Character-focused grand strategy. Gargoyles have remarkably low hit points. This thief needs to be ashamed of himself for going last. Play a specific ruler and have to deal with the personal nature of rule and diplomacy. There's a bunch of games in that like grand strategy category that I've never played that I have this weird outsider perspective of what they must be like, and I'm sure that they're nothing like that. Game of Thrones, interpersonal politics. That's cool. I don't like getting ambushed by 7 gargoyles. Yeah. Made effort into making it approachable. That's cool. Can you contrast it with an RTS? Dungeon is the worst. Bad decisions for the sake of drama. Thank you, 82 ethers. I wonder why they didn't price ethers differently, given that they completely changed the magic system. This dungeon would be a nightmare with Vancian magic like the original game. Not very similar to RTS. Okay. More like Civilization, but kind of real time. Yeah, I guess never having played them, it's hard for me to like visualize what the core gameplay loop feels like. Civ. So like a military conflict might play out automatically, but it's based on the alliances that you forged and like the numbers of the size of your army and who you've entered into treaties with for supplies, that kind of thing. I see. Is it beatable? Or intended to be beatable? Personal objective based. Can you like replicate another player's starting conditions, or are there recommended starting conditions? Or is it like a seed that gives you different maps? Now, is that when you say that's your goal, does it mean you, the player, have decided that's what you want to do, or did you load into a map where it's giving you that as a victory condition? Gotcha. Forgot about these guys that petrify you. Probably need to make sure that I come into these fights already with Firaga. Keep that from happening. Game over condition on this floor. Shoot, I think I got turned around. Let's see. Oh, is Europa Universalis from the same devs? Same kind of game, basically. It's definitely one of those games that I know nothing about, but I hear about it a lot, so I have this, like, mental image of what it might be like, which probably isn't anywhere near accurate. I see. Tutorial, specific role in Ireland, 25 different recommended starting characters at different difficulties. Any role from Count to Emperor. Huh. So the starts mirror some like real world starting condition and then you deviate from history based on your choices? That's cool. Historical to the best of their research. Are there ways to like mirror the actual decisions made in history and have it play out similarly? I'm sure that breaks down eventually. I need to get the encounter rate down in here. It's just high enough to make me forget which parts of the level I've already explored. That's cool. But in order for those battles to play out, you have to have, like, mirrored the real-world decisions to get there. They put in game mechanics that incentivize following history. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's good for history nerds too, because it can help give you an incentive for why things played out the way they did using game mechanics. It's a pretty cool gameplay concept. Does Grand Strategy have a monopoly on like the history game? Penalty disability for unifying too early. I see. Paradox is hot right now. Okay. Gotcha. I think I'm going the right way. I like the idea of making a video game that has sets of rules and then, like, crafting your initial starting conditions so that they mirror events from history. That's pretty cool. I could see Assassin's Creed. Alright, we made it to where we were supposed to go. And now there's more cave! Fuck! It's okay. I have effectively infinite resources. Provided that we don't run into the enemies that can petrify us. That would be really bad. Because I do not have any more gold needles. There are a potential game over scenario. Didn't they make a version of Assassin's Creed Origins with no combat where you could just explore ancient Egypt? That's cool. I had a really bad impression of the first Assassin's Creed game. I probably need to play the other ones. I do have one remedy if I get in big trouble. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Giving it away for free to schools. Ooh, Ogre Mage. I think I found Assassin's Creed frustrating because it felt kind of more like a toy than a game. Like, here, make your own fun in this open world. It was one of the first games I played where I felt like, wait, is open world bad, actually? Or do I not like it, I should say? Some people are super into it. The tech demo compared to 2. It's hard to describe it. It's like the novelty of the core gameplay loop of something like Assassin's Creed. I think so long as it remains novel, it can still be fun, but as soon as the novelty wears off and you're like, oh, I get it. I just do the same thing 20 times, or I go to climb these 50 towers, right? Like, when you see the Matrix, at least for me, it stops being as interesting. More variety of narrative in 2. Gotcha. Yeah, so it's probably just unfair prejudice from only having played one of the games. Assassin's Creed. I should probably try it at some point. I don't like when I have an opinion on something without actually having played it. But then I went ahead and informed myself on Other M, and I wish I hadn't. Not other M-pad. I'm glad we played other M. Wish I could restore my mostly unmarred picture of the Metroid franchise from before playing it, but... Please don't petrify my party. Every time they hit me, I wince. Yeah, I've been trying to think of how to put it to words, like... I don't think that it's a thing that would affect most gamers, even. It's like, if I start to detect that the content in the game is largely not authored, that a lot of it is just, like, a system of rules that they put together and then tried to plug in some dialogue here and there that's actually handwritten, but that the rest of it's kind of playing itself, I start to check out pretty quickly. Like, Skyrim does it to me. And I recognize that Skyrim is, like, a good game, and that it's even one of the greatest games ever, and that people really like it and play it for hundreds of hours. But it's like I crave those authored experiences instead of the, like, procedural or emergent experiences. I felt like what little I saw of Assassin's Creed felt like it was mostly going for the, there's gonna be these emergent stories, right? "57 very similar authored foot races." That's fair. Yeah. I keep coming back to Mass Effect as a series that does a really good job of at least tricking me into believing that most of the content is authored. Especially with 2. I mean, 1... The first planet you go to, you're like, whoa, this is fucking awesome, look at the skybox. And you get to the second planet and you're like, oh, they're all like this. Never mind. Or you go to, like, a hab, and yeah, the story in the hab is cool, because there'll be custom dialogue with the characters there. But you kind of get the sense, alright, they made like 6 or 7 indoor environments, copy-pasted them 100 times, and then just changed the story that takes place inside the environments, right? But like, I guess the main story in Mass Effect would keep me going, the first one. The second one, they worked really hard to not have too many duplicated environments like that. You get your crazy planets, like the one with the big ship that's teetering on the edge of the waterfall where there's no combat. So I think there are definitely some gamers that not only aren't bothered by that, like they actually enjoy that sort of content because they crave the emergent story, right? The, oh man, this crazy thing happened in my D&D game and I can't wait to tell everybody about it, you know, experience. I remember I went to a panel at PAX. It was Tim Schafer, Eric Wolpaw, I think is his name, the Portal 2 writer, and a couple other writers in the games industry. And it was right around the time Minecraft was becoming really popular and like DayZ. Several people asked them questions like, you know, how are you going to write game stories in this era where everyone's moving towards emergent storytelling? They're like, I mean, emergent storytelling is emergent storytelling. That's not what we do. We don't really care about that. I played Arkham Asylum. I thought that was a really good game. Solid, basically Metroidvania with really cool rhythmic brawler combat. I think Arkham Asylum's combat is the only combat system that's basically a brawler that I'm able to enjoy. Because Because it's like the difference in performance between playing it correctly and button mashing is high enough that it feels good to play it right, if that makes sense. Versus something like Devil May Cry, where you can really pretty easily get away with playing it poorly. And the difference between playing well and playing poorly isn't that significant. The sequels improve the Arkham Asylum combat. That's cool. Yeah, they got the feel of combat perfect, I felt like. I'm gonna hold on to my remedy for now. This tutorial starts in Ireland. He became King of Ireland and Scotland. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know, I have to think about it more. Like, the idea of emergent story is neat to me, but I think it's important to me that the game be upfront about that's what it is, you know? There's a way to do it where you're actually telling an emergent story, but you're pretending like it's authored. That's cool. I really like the way the Arkham games handle stealth compared to virtually every other stealth game. Like, stealth is almost a stylistic decision, and if you get caught, like, you're still Batman, you know, you can still kick ass. Hey, lit effects. We'll do a full Batman franchise focus and play Batman for the NES. Shit. I need a gold needle really badly. I was gonna say, are there no enemies on this floor? I think they fixed that after Arkham Asylum. Yeah. Tomb Raider 2013 had a good solution to that, where that game's equivalent of detective vision was like a button you would press that would make it burst around you so long as you were standing still, and then once you started moving it would fade away. Arkham Stealth. It's not about the enemies not knowing you're there, it's about them definitely knowing you're there, but not where. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Arkham Asylum felt like it nailed the fantasy, which I think is kind of tough. It's harder to see the geometry, so you don't want to use it constantly. Okay. Those kind of modes are super helpful, but who speaks to me? Story time. Is this the Lich? I think so. He who feeds on the power of Earth will not be disturbed by mortal men. I am the Lich, fiend of Earth. I have a petrified party member. It's a cool looking sprite. So now's the time to use the remedy. It didn't work. It doesn't work on stone? Oh, that's bad. I might need to load a save, we'll see. See what Firaga does here. That's cool. Nice. Temperate plus haste. Turns out it's pretty good for boss fights. Paralyze. You guys have to wait for that to wear off. Hey! Too bad I don't have an exit spell here. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yay! Earthgift Shrine is open. The statue of the Lich is leaving. I'll say it would be super nice of them if touching that crystal healed me to full, but it does not. So now I gotta get out of this dungeon. With a petrified party member, I can't heal. Yikes. Probably shouldn't have saved over that file. Okay. Well, let's pray. Oh, is this a warp? Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, Final Fantasy 1. I didn't think you were gonna be that nice. It's not really your MO, excuse me. Let's use a tent. I got a ton of them. Preemptive strike. Cultural technologies. Town! I don't know if I'm able to recover stone from a character, because I don't think I have any shops that sell gold needles yet. I might have to Google it here in a second. Inn does not recover status effects. Oh my god, I got so much money now. Hell of a dungeon. It's cool to hear that these grand strategy games are trying to capture new players. I feel like that's a genre that could quickly fall into the trap of like, yeah, the people who like these games are the people who like these games. We don't have any need to teach new players how to do it. There's no item shop in this town. Is there a church? I don't know if they recover petrify in churches or if it's only death. Doesn't look like it. Price just play. But the game is just playable. Definitely played games that are so overwhelmingly complicated when you start them that it's hard to even know what to do. That's something I found impressive about Civilization, is that it seems like it's really complicated, but at any given turn, there's only a few choices. So you may as well make one and progress the clock, right? Give it a shot. I see. God, he's scary. Aggression, like, overflows. Makes him want to use nukes. You can start playing and know what you're doing. That's nice. Yeah. I like games where, like, the basic game feels playable when you're new, and then as you play it more, you get better at it. Or things that you used to struggle with are less of a struggle. I'm looking up Final Fantasy 1, Gold Needle, Dawn of Souls. No internet. What? I'll keep going to towns while I try to Google it here. Let me see if there's a church here maybe that could help. Do you remove petrification? There are none in need of my services. Just that guy in your party that's been turned into a statue. A linksys between worlds. My password, Hunter2. Try it again. Gold Needle, Dawn of Souls. Where the hell do I get them? How do you cure stone? Buy them in the elf town. Okay. I think I can get back there. Elfheim, due south. Play it as a weird visual novel. I really like this track. I really want there to not be shop music. Here we go. I should have bought a bunch of these, about 500 each. Big yikes. Get at least 10. I don't want to have to want for them later. Gold Needle. You're cured, buddy. Alright, let's go to Earthgift Shrine, I guess. You're thinking I'm having an affair with your spy master, who is also a vassal and count under you, and your sister. I can see how a Game of Thrones mod made the game pretty popular. Alright, before I go to Earthgift Shrine, let me go back to the town that I was supposed to be at. Sahwagans. I think this is, yeah, when we fight the Kraken, we can go through there. Yeah, how long is it, or how willing is it to use artistic liberties with, like, characters from history? Restore the crystals to grace. I'm working on it. Working on it. I'm just a farmer. Talk to the wise man. I'm just a farmer. Just a simple farmer. Goes by the name Billy West. Billy West. What a stupid, phony, made-up name. Conceivable. Alright, let's try going to the Earth Temple here. I know that this is where I say this game is basically blind. I know that all of the jobs are able to advance. Like, Black Mage can become a Black Wizard, Monk can become a Black Belt, and so on. But I don't remember what causes that to happen, and don't spoil it for me. It might have to do with finding the crystals, but I don't remember if you get to pick individual characters to advance. Where's Cornelia up north? I know, right? This port's really good. It's a cool game. I feel like if you had repels in this game, that it would be like 4 hours long. I was mostly asking about missing women characters from history, Leon, and like other minorities that aren't really reported in history. There's some debate about that with like Hamilton, which I love Hamilton. And I think that Lin-Manuel Miranda did his best with a bad situation where we don't really know a lot about the women in revolutionary times, or at least the ones around Alexander Hamilton's life. But I've definitely tried to show it to some people and had them cringe at like, oh, all the women in this story are just love interests for Hamilton. It's like, yeah, they're trying. Finished Dragon Quest 1, but not FF1. That's interesting. Stay out if you were me. Earthgift Shrine. High potion. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not that women didn't participate in history, because they very much did, but we often didn't write that or include how significant they were. Duchess of Tuscany was really cool. Nice. As we mentioned last week, Final Fantasy 1 is very much a free conversation game, so if you had any topics, a lot of this game is random battles and running between different similar-looking caves, so feel free if anything's on your mind. The original version's Dragon Quest 1 is better than FF1. Definitive version of FF1 is a superior game to the definitive version of Dragon Quest 1. Do you think that's because of attempts to remake Dragon Quest 1 are very conservative and try to maintain the original feel, whereas attempts to remake Final Fantasy games try to bring them more in line with the modern titles? Oh, that's cool, Leon. Happy to hear that. Ken Pogi. Is that a armor for ninjas? Oh, maybe it's for monks. Oh, that's really cool. Nice. What systems is that coming out for, Irene? After beating Nier Automata, I'm much more interested in playing other Yoko Taro games. I wish I could edit videos on YouTube, because I want to go edit my Nier Automata episode 1 and be like, hey, I hate this game for almost the entire playthrough, and then I really like it at the very end. Stick with it, I promise. I'm so sorry. But I guess maybe that's kind of what Yoko Taro's going for? I don't know. I wonder if these all just lead back into each other. Yeah. I'm happy to hear that, Leon, and I assume that's fairly non-controversial with the history buff fan base. Oh, wow. So there may have been other chests out in that open desert area, but I'm just going to pretend like they don't exist. It's too much stress to go back. Earthgift Shrine B4. PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Cool. What was the deal with Nier? Weren't there like two versions for the East and West that had like super minor aesthetic differences or something? Yeah, that was my next question, Leon, is that I'm worried about like the Deus Volts community. Which is kind of like some other far-right internet communities that started as like a well-meaning joke and then got co-opted by actual racists. Yeah. Yeah, it's true in general, Serp, but it can get particularly problematic with these kinds of games that let you play out these fantasies. As far as I can tell, the devs very, like, resoundingly condemn that sort of a thing, but it doesn't really matter to the players in a lot of cases. It's kind of like, you know, anime video games, where you're like, man, I can see how responsible people could enjoy this just fine, but I'm very concerned about the message this is sending to irresponsible people, or the way irresponsible people could use this. It's kind of a tough situation. It's like you can't make all of your art to never take risks, right? Caves of Cud, there's an anti-mutant faction called the Putus Templar. Kill all non-pure humans. Good for the devs. Yeah, Leon, that's... Whew. Note my way all the way out of that. Having to deal with that question as a game developer. Yeah, singing there, I get what you meant, yeah. If you go on there and you're like... Kill all non-pure humans, that gets bad really fast. Yeah, we were talking about it in Discord recently about the virtual avatars or whatever. Or a streamer will use face rig to look like an anime character, and it's like, this is that kind of technology. You're like, oh, that's such cool tech, and there's lots of really good, positive things you can do with that, but there's a lot of really bad stuff too. Propagate made the argument that it's great for like a transgender content creator so they can present more how they view themselves. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I think that's actually really, really good the more I think about it. Yeah, well, I mean, if the game has these in-game features that let you disable that sort of thing, that kind of says that they're opposed to it. I guess I don't envy the position that Paradox, for example, finds themselves in, because they can be all the way good guys and be putting out a really responsible product. Still get a lot of bullshit heat, right? And the bullshit's frequently in such bad faith. Like, I didn't follow it closely at all. It was back when Gamergate was still popular. Good riddance. But the whole thing about, like, being able to play as a woman in one of the Battlefield games or something, it's not historically accurate. It's like, you don't care about that. Stop claiming that you do. Yeah, I can hear that, Reen. It's a really hard problem, and it's not the kind of, like, lighthearted problem that you want to have to be tackling as a video game developer, right? Yeah, I was super into that too, Capo. Just because of it being kind of problematic, sir. No, this is great. We gotta have stuff to talk about during Final Fantasy 1, and probably Final Fantasy 2. I think there's a little bit more story in 2, but it's still a lot of dungeons and enemies. Stuff isn't quarantined if it is pro-human rights and pro-science. I think we should all be able to unambiguously be on the side of the Holocaust was a bad thing. Maybe we shouldn't let people play it out in video games, right? I know, right, Reen? It's like... It's this, this particular brand of bad faith argument that tries to, like, anchor itself in a less controversial argument that they're not actually putting forward in good faith, and then yell at you when you're like, I know what you're actually saying. I didn't say that. You're putting that in my mouth. And you're like, I keep bringing this up in the Discord, but God, it just drives me nuts when people on the internet, and especially in the gaming community, do that plausible deniability shit, where it's like, you know what they're saying, but you couldn't prove it in court. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that's what's interesting, is like, I've totally had good faith arguments like that. And I guess that's the other thing too, is like, you also usually can't prove in a court of law when someone's having an argument with you in bad faith. So, like, we saw, in a much less controversial way, we saw this happen with Battle for Azeroth, the World of Warcraft expansion, where the expansion actually had very legitimate problems, and they really did need to be fixed. But, like, the Outrage merchants took advantage of the fact that there were legitimate arguments and kind of piggybacked off them. They kind of, like, used them as a shield to hide behind. And it becomes a problem in both directions where, like, the Outrage merchants who are arguing in bad faith get to hide behind the people that have legitimate criticism. And then the people who have legitimate criticism have to, like, you know, do handstands to prove that they're not Outrage merchants. Right? And then you sometimes get situations where, like, a product is legitimately bad, and, like, a corporation that made it has actually erred in producing it. And they can defend themselves by saying, look how ridiculous the Outrage merchants are, right? It's like, well, yeah, they are ridiculous, and they need to shut the fuck up. But your thing still sucks. You need to fix it. It's completely unacceptable that, you know, somebody told you that you need to kill yourself or sent you death threats or something. That's unacceptable. Those people need to stop. I condemn them 100%. If your game still sucks, please fix it. It's just one of those dark side of the internet. Penny Arcade published it forever ago at their normal person plus anonymity plus audience equals total fuckwad. Like, these things would be less of a problem if we were arguing in person. Yeah, right. And that's like, ugh. Yes, that's also not okay. Or, like, Ghostbusters 2016 is not a particularly good Ghostbusters remake because it's improvisational Judd Apatow comedy instead of, like, constructed jokes and science humor. And people were really unnecessarily shitty about the gender flip of the cast, which is actually kind of a cool idea. But Sony is unable to take this kind of turd of a movie and say people only dislike it because of that. And you're like, it just makes it radioactive to talk about, you know? I know, right? They didn't really have a script, they just filmed it and said, improvise, we'll get 500 hours of footage and cobble together a film and editing. Like, I already feel icky just saying I don't like Ghostbusters 2016, which means that the bad people have won. The people who were being outright misogynists about it kind of got their way. I just wish we had an internet where we could assume good faith in every conversation. I wonder if the thief use the elven cloak? He totally can. Nice. Wait, can everyone use it? Ooh. That's good news. Let's put it on the Black Mage then. Get a couple more of those would be nice. Right now I think my fighter is the only character that can wear a shield. wish we had an everything where we could assume good faith in everything. Topapa. Best randomly generated name. Yeah, I think that's the source of a lot of my anxiety. It's like... Arguing in bad faith is unfortunately so effective that it breaks everything else. Headcanon that there are Lalafels in FF1. I guess there are dwarves. That was such a fun twist in Final Fantasy XIV. You go to one of the alternate universes and the Lalafels are just the dwarves there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that kind of thing is a problem too. I don't know anything about Last of Us 2. The people who I trust say that it's very good. But I got in a sense that a lot of people have like review bombed it without having played it. Kat was trying to get it on the voting system for a while. There was some discussion about giving more distance from the launch of the game, because I guess people are being assholes on Twitch and like joining people's channels who are playing it. Without having played it, all that I've heard is that there's some part of it that's like Requiem for a Dream, like the kind of media that is meant to make you feel like garbage, right? And I guess if you're going in expecting a fun, sneaky zombie game, you might be upset by that. But it seems like that was what Last of Us 1 was building up to, so... Yeah, and Serp, I think that's part of the problem, is that, like, there is a... So you've got your obviously bad faith, racist, homophobic people on one side. You've got your allies on the other side, and you've got folks in the middle that, like, for lack of a better word, they want to already be in Star Trek world. Like, they want to imagine that we're already in this utopia where representation isn't a problem anymore. Racism has ended, there's no bigotry, right? Like, I want to be there too. Right, this thing. Yeah, I think effortless representation is the end goal. Let's see. We'll play it eventually. Again, it's like other M. Probably shouldn't have an opinion on Last of Us 2 until I play it, but... It's the sort of thing where, like, the kind of crowds that have an issue at that game, if I hear that they have an issue with the game, it's like a glowing endorsement for me. So... I think the indie space of game development is getting there, and I think it's faster than Hollywood. Like, now you kind of just take it for granted that a typical indie game is probably going to feature pretty good inclusion of LGBT and minority characters. Where, like, it's not even worth commenting on anymore. Like, yeah, indie devs have that shit on lock. They're not fucking around with this. Oof, the same. I don't know, I mean, the first hour of The Last of Us 1 is pretty fucking dark. I guess you could play it, you could play it pretty disconnectedly and just enjoy the shooting mushroom zombies part, but... Like, I feel like if you're a parent, the first hour of the first Last of Us game is gonna fuck with you pretty hard and might make you want to turn the game off, right? Need to legitimize games as art with comparisons like that. It comes off as insecure. Sure. Red Fang a usable item in this game? It is. Casphira. A weird, almost halfway through the game, consumable item that I've never obtained before. Or anything like it. In any sense, the direction that indie games are going, where it's like almost not even noteworthy anymore to praise diversity in them, I think is a good sign. I think it suggests that, like, if you keep just doing something over and over and over, that it gets boring to praise it for that anymore, right? It's like, we praise Citizen Kane because they did a couple shots where they were holding the camera in like a recess that they dug out of the floor in order to get a weird low angle. Because that was the first time they did it. And you might have praised the next few films that copied it, but now it's like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Any movie can do that. So I guess the moral of the story is you just gotta keep doing it. I don't know, though, like, I kind of dislike the general attitude of wanting to treat video games as an inherently lesser or less serious medium for storytelling. I mean, that's kind of been the case because a lot of games don't focus on good storytelling. To me, there's no reason that video games can't just be the natural evolution of the medium, right? It's like a movie, except it's really long, potentially, and the viewer has agency in the story. That's cool. Managed to reach these depths. I commend you. Your journey ends here. Whoa. Optional fight or something? I mean, I did it earlier, right? When I was talking about, man, it kind of sucks for those game devs that they have to deal with these hard problems about World War II. But they just wanted to make a fun video game. But it's like, well, no, they did choose to make a video game set in World War II. It's kind of opening themselves up to difficult decision-making. But can you pet the dog? Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's a thing that can happen. Can't haste a corpse. I don't know if I'm supposed to fight this thing yet. And we're dead. Put you all the way outside. What's the soft reset button? Okay. BA select start. There are like other bosses in here? I assume this is just progress coming in here. Echidna. As long as they mostly do physical attacks, I can handle it for now. Death. Nice miss, Slicky. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Whoa, was this an instant kill? Okay. I don't think float is a thing in this game. This must be optional super boss. That's all I can guess. Surprised they just let me in here though, because all the enemies up to this point were pretty easy. Pretty good damage from the thief there. Fortunately, that triggered first. Yeah. Oh, I think I see your point, this name, sure. No, don't kill anyone! Fuck. Too bad that doesn't auto-retarget there. How you doing, favorite? Flare? Is that all Jesus. Okay, so not very... I'm out of Phoenix Downs. The party was defeated. Alright. See if I have a chance of beating any of the bosses in here. Might try Cerberus again and spam party heal. Having a party-wide instant death attack isn't great. I was doing pretty good damage though once I had haste and temper set up. This has to be a bonus area. I didn't realize this was a thing. It unlocked right after I beat the Lich, so I assumed it was progress, but... It's kind of cool that there's these difficult bosses, though. Ahriman! Classic. Oh no, he's got Earthquake too. Oh, it just instantly kills you. Float must be a thing then. Okay, I need the warrior to stay alive now because he's got the double buff. Makes him suck quite a bit less. That could be death, we'll see. Healara is not a big enough heal to keep up here. I'd have to get really lucky turns, I think, to not die. Dawn of Souls exclusive dungeon. All of the dungeons that are open by the four fiends are Dawn of Souls exclusive, I assume. Do you see how many hit points these bosses have? That might help me decide whether it's worth fighting them now. Ahriman, Cerberus, and 4 exclusive bonus dungeons. Okay. Echidna, and there might be a 4th one in here too. $4.8K. That's doable with some hassle, but I could pull it off eventually. If I get lucky on RNG, 5K. Yeah. Possible, especially if I can get both the thief and the fighter doing good damage each. I'm both hasted and tempered. Oh, this might be game over. Hopefully Kiraga doesn't get cast on his corpse. Should have been casting Healara. Yep. Should buy a bunch of Phoenix Downs before I try this seriously. I went off before Healara. Him using a melee attack is great. My characters are pretty resistant to melee. So like of order of 5k for all of them. Ouch. Let's see what the fourth one does. If any of them doesn't have a party-wide nearly insta-kill attack, I got a chance. Otherwise I might have to come back here later. Oh, there's just the 3 down here? Maybe there's 12 total. Oh wait, no, here's one. Die now, Warriors of Light. Two-headed dragon. Nice miss. Oh god, he's got some pretty nasty physical attacks. But if he only does physical, we might be okay. His shtick is like, he just hits really hard. Black Mage will die if he gets hit, which would be very bad. Fighter might die here because I should have cast Kiraga on him. It depends on what the dragon attacks. Nice, 14 hit. Fuck. That's what I was worried about. Now she's gonna waste her turn. Can't slow the boss. So next time I think I can beat this as long as I focus harder on keeping the fighter topped off, because I think he's most likely to get attacked. Thief can probably survive one hit. Nope. White Mage can't. Can protect pretty badly here. I love how the Black Mage survived. That must have been the extra defense from the Elven Cloak. He has way fewer hit points than the White Mage. Please attack the thief, and please, thief, avoid the damage. Power of Topapa. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed to happen there. Figured I'd give it a try. I'm not doing a lot of damage with the Black Mage. And he's dead again. The dragon just attacks the fighter. Okay. Never mind. They have to dodge and attack this turn to have a chance of winning, yeah. So I think we can beat this one after I reload here. Wouldn't that be awesome if she killed it with 22 damage? Okay. Let's try these guys again. Double-headed dragon. Change the healing strategy. Really curious to see what you get for beating them. Okay, first let's top off. I think I need to move the Elven Cloak off of Tapapa, because Serena needs to be able to stay alive to res people. So I only have the one Phoenix down, unfortunately. I do, yeah. See if it does significantly more damage. Good call. Alright, let's see what happens here. Well, not good. Let me just try that again without the thief dying on the first turn. My main DPS character. Glad they included these. Wait, is he not topped off? Hold on. Maybe that's why he died. That was less than his max health. No, he's totally not. Alright, well that's part of my problem. Target the fighter, please. He can take it. Crits. That triggered too early. It's okay. I think it was before his haste went off though, which is unfortunate. Nice miss, thank you. Elven Cloak. Topapa gets one shot regardless, so there's no reason for me to top him off. After this turn, I need to start using Kiraga on the fighter. I think he can eat... Well, he might already be in range of dying now, and maybe we should have cast Kiraga sooner. Let's see. Ooh, she got lucky and went first. Good thing I cast that, I would have been dead there. Oh god, Leon. It's crazy. Just got to go first again. Keep hitting the fighter, please. Perfect. It's okay. Probably afford to do Healara next turn. I am using the Worm Killer, yeah. I think the added effect isn't super significant compared to the higher damage of the axe. It's on the Thief because he does more damage right now. $275-ish. There's pretty big damage variance both from the boss and from me. I think it's based on the number of attacks that go off. Probably should have Kiraga the fighter there. Hopefully that doesn't get me killed here. Yeah, Horus is in range of getting one shot if I'm not lucky here. Please be nice, game. Please let Kiraga go off first. Whew. Lucky, lucky. Hey, look at that. This is one of my favorite things in JRPGs, as much as I complain about them being so degenerate much of the time. Barely eking out a victory against a difficult boss before you're supposed to. Cool. Bard Tunic, huh? Evade 84. And the defense up is pretty good too. So let me warp out or something. I see, so I can beat one boss and then leave for free. I'm gonna try Cerberus again. I think he only has one party-wide attack that I might be able to deal with. I guess if I had Null Shock, that's where you want to bring that. I didn't pick it up earlier. I was like, when am I gonna use Null Shock? Oh, it kicks you out when you beat a boss. Okay, that's fine then. Come on, game. There we go. Super rude. Alright, well if that dungeon is not progress... Yeah, I know, right? It's adding playtime to the game or something. At least I know what to expect down there now. Earthquake, thunder, and a ice blizzard attack, so I would need to have Null Frost and Null Shock to have a chance. I think I can forget spells in this game, but I'm not sure. Excuse you. I gotta get in the shop, thank you. Oh, Protect would have been nice too. Caster's Evasion. And she has something to do in the early turns. I could see one of these bosses requiring focus. Oh, it wasn't immune to slow, it was just resistant to it? Fuck. I'm used to in Final Fantasy almost everything is weak against slow, and they can't resist it. Yeah, I guess if I go back down there, I'm gonna have to like look at what the wiki says for those bosses, because there's such a huge time sink to get down to where they are. I have to know in advance what I'm up against. Excuse you. Thank you. Already full. Blind would have been nice. You've learned all you can. Discard spell. Okay, that's nice of them. It's like I need to take all of the status effects and only have a damage spell for their highest level. Same for healing spells and stuff. I still got the money to do this. Blindness, silence, null shock. Raise an ally's evasion, I don't actually care. Null shock would have made Cerberus very doable. Cerberus have any status weaknesses or... Actually, let me just Google it. Final Fantasy 1, Dawn of Souls, Cerberus. Bottom floor of the Earthgift Shrine. It looked like the Bard's Tunic that I got for killing the two-headed dragon wasn't like an insane upgrade. So I think I'm supposed to be able to fight them now. Like, I feel like if I go back there too late, that the stuff they drop is not going to be very useful. Does not resist sleep. Okay, so I think I can beat Cerberus. What do we get for it, though? It's going to determine whether I go back or not. Kotetsu. That's more exciting than a Bard's Tunic. Kotetsu. Thief Knight. Can buy it quite a bit later. Sleepra, Confuse. Confuse probably is never going to work. But I don't really need Blizzara anymore with Firaga, so... Just in case they designed a boss that specifically is weak against Confuse, to make it worth getting. For one of the optional bosses. Poisona, Fear, Null Frost. Fear is probably never going to work, regardless. So I can probably get rid of regular heal or regular Cura. I'll probably always use Healara over regular heal. So I can pick up No Blaze. I think at least one of the bosses in there did something like that. And then... I forget what I was neglecting for her level 5 spells. And for his level 5 spells, but I think they're in the town across the sea. Because it looks like the sword that Cerberus drops you get from a town shop in the future, but not available at this stage in the game, so I think it's one of those go do the dungeon now and it's going to be pretty challenging for your current level, but doable depending on your party composition. after that little whirlpool is the Watergift Shrine, which is another optional Dawn of Souls dungeon, I guess. Alright. Diago is the one that I left out. It's probably fine until I get something better than Healra. Scourge kills all foes. Teleports Black Wizard only. Slowra maybe would have had a better chance of landing than Slow. Maybe that was my problem. I gotta save the slot for teleport once we get Black Wizard. Okay. Let's head back over there, see if I can kill Cerberus. Let's see if all the little enemies in B4 stayed dead too, because that would be nice. I feel like Baku would have been like strictly better if I had made him a red mage instead of a thief, but whatever, it's fine. Maybe they buff Ninja a little bit in Dawn of Souls and it'll be less terrible later. One sec. Oh shoot, I should really find out the most efficient way to get through this screen. So I walked a really long way last time. Oh, I'm just running due north and seeing what happens. I wonder if this place is a torus, if it like wraps around on itself. So is there anything else new in video games lately? Anyone heard any good jokes? The Xbox Series, or whatever we're calling the console, had its pre-orders, came and went, and nobody cared. Do we know if Microsoft purchased Bethesda in order to make their games PC, Xbox exclusives? You didn't miss out, Ludifex. Oh my god. I don't know if you saw it on Discord, but getting a PS5 was a gigantic pain. Very similar to what the NVIDIA pre-orders were looking like. The second it was meant to go live, you went to add to cart, and it said added to cart, and then you went to hit checkout, and it would say, sorry, there's an error. Like, what? NVIDIA was even worse. Yeah, I saw a lot of those memes of, like, clicking the add to cart button and it was already gone. Leon, can you trivially reload? Or is it the kind of game where when something like that happens you go, oh, that's an interesting story. I'm gonna keep playing. Or does it not let you load your save? Yeah, I have been over launch for non-Nintendo consoles for a long time. I usually care about getting Nintendo consoles on launch because I like them and they tend to have cool launch titles. If it wasn't for the Demon's Souls remake, I probably wouldn't give a shit about the PS5. That's a game that I'm probably going to play right on launch and just play it outside of normal stream hours, but stream it anyway. Because it's going to be kind of blind for me. We played that game pretty fast, I don't remember anything from it. Oh, there's an Iron Man mode where you can't load saves. I see. It's cool. Oh, NVIDIA was all concentrated on one site. PS5 was spread around retailers. So the onus was on individual retailers to suck less with the PS5. I guess they also had the problem where they were like, hey, pre-orders are going to be available soon on these sites. And then like 4 hours later, all of them went live at like midnight without saying when that was going to happen. For the PS5 anyway. Okay, there's gotta be a faster way to get to B2. I might look up Earthgift Shrine. Earth G pre-fills Earthgift Shrine map. Because I'm gonna have to be coming back here repeatedly. Where the hell do you start on this map? It is a torus, and the different trees point to each other. I don't see where you start on it, though, is the problem. I think I can probably figure it out next time. I know, right, Reen? God, that was so dumb. Like, Xbox One? Xbox Series? But it's not even called the Xbox Series. I think they're trying to do some kind of like, let's name our console the way that graphics cards name themselves. In a way that's completely inscrutable and impossible to track. And to keep it straight out loud, I realized it's even worse than you thought. Yeah. That's kind of cool. There's random chests when you come back here, so at least you get some new items for doing this. Yeah, I was explaining the controversy to Andrea, and when I said out loud Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, it occurred to me that the letters X and S sound very similar when you say them out loud, especially if you're speaking quickly. Why, guys? It's one of those easy things to be frustrated by, because it's like, are you serious, guys? Like, you're a giant multi-billion-dollar company, and this is what you came up with, and everyone was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Totally makes sense. Can completely keep track of what those are. Not confusing in the slightest. And, like, part of it is that it's just so stupid. It's just like, well, the PlayStation's on 5, so we can't release the Xbox 4 because 4 is one less than 5, and you're like, you know that there are people that wouldn't buy it for that stupid reason, like people not buying a third pounder over a quarter pounder. Yeah, the new Xbox would be a better name. Nintendo's marketing team quit and go to Microsoft. Their Switch marketing team has done a pretty good job. It's almost like Nintendo learned their lesson from the Wii U. Like, whoa, let's do something that's simple, easy to pronounce. Let's even make a sound effect that goes along with it. They're just not that hungry. That's one of those classic marketing stories that, was it A&W tried to sell a third pounder to compete with a quarter pounder and people didn't buy it because they thought it must have had less food. I guess who knows if that's actually true or not. The Xbox Series X doesn't play the Xbox One X version of backwards compatible games. It just plays the Xbox One version. You need an Xbox Series X to play Xbox One X versions of games. Xbox. They really should have just called it the Xbox 6. I feel like that would have been the funniest solution. The third pounder A&W thing is true. Nice. Yeah, go with the 720. That's fine. I mean, the Xbox Series X is pretty bad, but I think the Xbox One is worse because it actively confuses terminology that we use to refer to the first generation of a console series, like the PlayStation 1, right? Yeah. I think they already had the problem with the Xbox 360. They're like, shit, we can't call it the Xbox 2, because then it's going to be one behind the PS3. That would have been super safe, Leon. Yeah. Xbox 2020. Yeah, saying Xbox Series sounds like you're talking about the console series. So I think they're trying to mirror CPU and GPU names, which are a dumpster fire. Don't call things like that. I don't know what any of that shit means. Xbox Kai or Key. That was my joke. It said they should make the next Kingdom Hearts game should be called Kingdom Hearts 2 2006. Yeah, there you go. If it's based on year, and you can have a little thing at the end, limited edition. Scorpio is a cool name too. Black Cowl, that's potentially a big deal. This random stuff you can get from this dungeon is almost better. It's thief only. Wow. This thing is awesome. Increases my attack, accuracy, defense by a significant amount, and my evasion. Alright, so I definitely have to check for all the treasure chests when I come in here. No class change yet. Makes you look like an edgelord. Yeah, I guess it's like Microsoft is already in this like weak marketing position compared to Sony, where it's like, okay, anything we do, it's gonna look like we're responding to the name of the PlayStation, which is just straightforward. Make the number go up by 1. So I think the best solution they possibly could have made would have been to just call it the Xbox 6. It's consistent with Windows 10. It's 1 louder than the PlayStation 5. Name the first Xbox the Xbox 2. That fixes their problem. I think that's completely reasonable. I'm just doing it by year. Nintendo can keep doing their new console titles. I wish the Wii U had just been the Super Wii. And I hope whatever the successor to the Switch is just the Super Switch. Xbox Pi R squared. Cube, Tesseract. Well, they had to go back and call the original console the X-Point. X-Line. Ocean. I think those chests just have random loot in them. It's kind of crazy. I think this is the exit. I don't remember. Well, I hear that's what they're doing with the series, or at least there's speculation that they're going to do that. That instead of having like clear console generations, they're just going to keep releasing new Xboxes with the new series label, and it's not going to be clear whether your game is going to work on the Series X or the Series S or the Series C or whatever the fuck. It's going to basically be the same as a PC. The shitty one that can only play games that was built for you and costs less than building your own PC. I think I actually have to go down. Yeah, okay. Going the wrong way right now. Oh, I should have brought a shitload of Phoenix Downs when I was out there. I'll have to do that after this. I don't know if I can beat the other 2 bosses. I think both Echidna and Ahriman use Earthquake, so... Earthgift Shrine... Treasures are static on each floor. The number of chests varies. Another elven cloak would be the tits right now. Right. Well, I guess when I was thinking if Xbox just used years, that they wouldn't release a new console every year. They would just be like, this is the Xbox that came out in 2020. That's, you know, 5th generation or whatever the hell we're calling it. Oops. Rocksmith 2014. Didn't they do that to relaunch the game? Get different ratings and that kind of a thing? Red Fang. Very good. I can get another elven cloak. Silver apple. Okay. That would make me so happy. Oh, Jesus, this game. Alright, here we go. Let's heal up. Null shock. Well, that's not great. At least I didn't die. Lucky turn. Temper got off before acted, that's good. That's more tolerable. I think we got this in the bag this time. Not very helpful if I cast Sleep on it on the turn I'm about to hit it. Well, they missed anyway. It's more tolerable. Hey, Chaos, how you doing? Oh, he's gonna waste his turn, that's nice. Oh, nice. Man, I only cast that lightning spell once, so... Oh, you know, I guess he cast it twice on the first turn. And then again. Okay, Kotetsu, I assume, is a pretty big upgrade for you. It's an okay upgrade. It's basically like giving him the equivalent of a Great Axe, but without a usage penalty. Making you go through the dungeon 4 times is a little mean. It's not that bad, but still. Like cool Shichishito. Alright, let me see what the rewards are. I think the other bosses are going to be much more of a hassle. Because they use Earthquake, which is just an instant kill, and I need to have Null Death to avoid it. So I might want to try to progress the story and see if I can get my hands on Null Death. Echidna drops something. Oh, gross. Echidna drops an X potion. No. Are you kidding me? Is there a reward for killing all of them? Hold on. I'm really glad I'm Googling this now. Oh, the bosses respawn whenever you go back in. Okay. Alright, well, if Echidna is pointless to fight, then what does Ahriman drop? There's better stuff that just drops in the dungeon from the random chest rolls. Yeah, I appreciate that they made that change. Haha. Ahriman drops a dry ether. Why? Okay, well, we're done with the Earthgift dungeon. Hooray! I guess I could go back to get another elven cloak or a black cowl, but... It's cool that there's extra bosses in there, but Jesus, don't give them an X potion as a drop. Especially since they're both harder than the 2 bosses that had cool drops. Alright, whatever. Progress time, let's go. I don't think, as far as I can tell, since everything respawns, there's no reason to just kill all 4 bosses. It doesn't give you, like, a special bonus or something for doing that. Sage's Cave, I think I have to walk to. Oh, nice. You're doing pretty limited help from chat. I think the PSP one is based on this one, but it has different graphics and a few other changes. It's hard to tell what the Final Fantasy relaunch is. This was the first one, though, for the GBA. The one that has still good sprite graphics. Okay, very good. I don't know if I have to go back to Sada. I don't think getting the Earth Crystal itself opened up anything new. I'm gonna do some Googling real quick while I'm walking around here. So far it's been pretty clear what the next step is, but... Oh, I guess I've got access to more of the game world now. Didn't see that. Okay. Progress time, let's go. The game became kind of non-linear once I got through that little canal, I guess. Okay. Rude. Gaze animation is much too long for Final Fantasy 1. Or an enemy casted spell, anyway. So I believe we want to go all the way to the southeast corner of the map. It's super crazy how early they give you the boat in this game. This is right, I think. This shows as being technically part of Provoca. Huh. This looks right, actually. Hilgigus. Ow. Crescent Lake. Alright, give me your item shop. Buy some of these Phoenix Downs. For 20 like we do with the gold needles. Armor. Oh, I can use a buckler, that's nice. Alright, magic shop, this is what I'm really here for. Cures stone, thank god. Transports party out of dungeons, requires white wizard. Raises party's defense. I think Invisira is pretty good too. Shit, man. I guess Stona isn't as important now that I have access to the item. Bondaga, Death, Quake, Stun. None of these sound great. The rest of them are Black Wizard only, okay. Mithril Sword, Mithril Axe. 2510, 2315. Yeah, magic shops are kind of cool. I still think FF9 has the best system for learning spells and abilities. Then you both care about equipment and spells. There's just a bunch of shops here. You see a gravestone. Sex, right? Oh, I missed something. Makes it buyable and learnable. Not a zone transition, you got it. 12 sages are we, guided to the land by stars and prophecy. Cycle of wrath, a dim light, guided by destiny. Draw the notice of the Fiend of Fire. Take this canoe and go face the Fiend in Mount Gulg. Random dude just gives me a canoe? What? Palm SE1, what are you doing? Mount Gulg, which is pretty classic. Shown up now in several Final Fantasies. Four fiends plot to rule the world, both past and present. Fiend of Wind appeared 400 years ago, followed 200 years later by the Fiend of Water. Oh no, go away. There we go. Of course the random guy had a canoe, I know, right? Canoe energy! Explains why there's so much fucking water here. Probably need to buy more ethers soon. Try to find Mount Gulg. It's in 9 and 14. 9 makes sense because it has all the FF1 nostalgia in it. The Daga animation is pretty sweet. All the spell animations in this are quite good. I love the unique weapon animations too. It's a nice touch. Stop ambushing me. I got places to be. River background's pretty neat. That works. So, if you're a Final Fantasy type person, but not a horror type person, at least when it comes to horror games, you haven't been watching the Eternal Darkness playthrough, I urge you to check out the VODs for it. That game is really cool, and I think calling it a horror game is kind of like missing out on how cool it is. Failing to capture how cool it is. I feel like more people should play it, and we should support whatever the next Kickstarter is for an Eternal Darkness type game. Even just a Resident Evil style remake would be great. 9 enemies. Thanks, game. Please go early, Topapa. Live in the dream. Pretty good. Topapa gained a level. I think I just finished a full circle around here. Gotta figure out where Mount Gulg is. Ow. What level is everybody? Pretty high. Okay. I think I spent so much time in the Earth Shrine earlier. So let's go north here. Oh, Ochu? Nice. One of the first unique Final Fantasy specific monsters that got its start in Final Fantasy 1 instead of Final Fantasy 2, I think Ravanon was saying. This might be the mountain I'm going to here. Unlike Dragon Quest, which has like almost all of its most iconic monsters in the very first game. The Akira Toriyama JPEG folder. Alright, preemptive strike. No, that's right. Nicely done, Leon. I'm excited to play it on 6-gun subblock. How much time do you think is necessary to get Crusader Kings 3? There it is. I know that's right. Let's tent it up over here. Four-hour subblock is a good amount. Okay, cool. Mount Gulg. That seems bad. Do I need float for this or something? Hold on. Sphinx. Oh, it doesn't look like it hurts that bad. Remember to cast Hilara out of combat every so often. That's right, 6-gun, you get it. Mild lava pain. Fire elementals. It's not cast Firaga. Mithril Helm. Already had one. But we were really struggling with money at the beginning of the game, and now it's just like not a problem anymore. Cool, that works. I'm excited to check it out. Uh-oh, please don't have petrification abilities. Oh, okay, they don't have a lot of health. Good to know. This is a maze. First of all, how dare you? Second of all, what gives you the right? Okay, so I need to find a way to get in there first. Yeah, if you go to redeem it, it should describe it. It's 4 hours of the voting system game of your choice. It's set up so that the tag is the most sphere efficient thing to redeem, because it doesn't require any immediate effort on my part to support it. If you're just looking for hours of stream time. It's a way to get a discount for a longer game on the sheet and get it featured on stream early. It's the kind of game where you feel like it would drum up support if people got to see it. Yeah, it's not like your permanent tag slot from being a subscriber. Once the game wins the vote, the tag disappears. Great sword. Not an upgrade. Wait, efficient against what? Giants, huh. My kingdom for a repel. No pressure, but seriously, this dungeon's pretty nasty. If anyone has a topic. Chickpeas, neither chicks nor peas. Discuss. Chickpeas are good. It's the principal ingredient in hummus, right? I ashamed myself by finally buying something that I saw in a Facebook ad. These Flatiron Pepper Company, like pepper flakes. I've been putting it in everything, especially hummus. It's really good. I like 7 less than 6, which you already like less than Chrono Trigger and Earthbound. Yeah. I think 7's more important than it is good. I don't think it's bad, but it's more what it did for RPGs in the West, and more showing that you could do a sci-fi RPG, and you could do one on the PS1. I think it's like if Final Fantasy VIII was your first Final Fantasy, like I was saying towards the end of that playthrough, you're probably more likely to be more nostalgic for it and like it more enough that you remember it very fondly. And I think Final Fantasy VIII, like we were discussing in that playthrough, it's not a bad game, but it's kind of an unfinished game, where the end of it just kind of happens, right? So if 7 is a more finished game and is generally a more, I don't want to say it's a more good game, 7's a more good game than 8. Then that nostalgia of this is your first ever JRPG and your first Final Fantasy, it's going to go from being, oh, it's a game that I remember being really good, to being, this is the best fucking game ever, right? That's not bad. 7's fine. I think that 7 is better outside of the context of all of the sequels and interquels and spin-off content associated with it. Like, It's kind of a more surprising game when you beat it back in 1997 and there weren't a bunch of, like, new bits of media that contradicted the game's original ending. Because it was too much of a downer. 10-2 made that mistake as well. I was like, 10 story, part of what works so well about it is because the ending is bittersweet. They're like, actually, no, never mind. Yeah. Chrono Trigger is still perfect, though. It's just, there's so many things going right for that game. It's kind of a perfect storm. Power Plus? Is it like an insanely rare drop? I bet that's an insanely rare drop. Permanent stat upgrade from a random dog? Like a 1 in 255 or something? Take that back and give me a fucking Zenite in RuneScape Final Fantasy 1. It's a 1 in 300 drop and I'm 900 kills dry. Just give me one. That's how statistics works, right? I'm almost done with my RuneScape playthrough. Like, I've almost tapped out all of the non-degenerate content in the game. And it's just getting down to a few grinds, and those items, they're not dropping. Denied. Yeah. I don't disagree with any of what you just said, this name. Random encounters are annoying, especially after you've played Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, which is like, oh, there's a different way. Oh wait, no one's gonna actually do that though, because it's expensive and difficult. What the fuck? What is this? This is the JRPG equivalent of the Pyramid of Goombas in a Mario Maker level. Alright, hold on. Watch them mostly be empty. Mithril gloves, Mithril helm, high potion. Is this here so that if you're going down the bottom, you're like, fuck, how do I get to that? I think character identity is really important to me in JRPGs, and I kind of hate all of the Final Fantasy VII-like systems that reduce the characters to being carbon copies with different limit breaks, and then you just can equip materia on them and customize them how you like. I wish that the sphere grid didn't converge in the way it did in Final Fantasy X, because I like the early parts of that game where you're encouraged to use your whole party by using the ability to hot swap them without using up a turn. Like, oh, it's a flyer, you should use Waka, or oh, it's armored, you should use Orin. And that feels really good for a long time in that game, and then it kind of falls apart and isn't necessary to track anymore. Oh yeah, 6 with the ensemble casts. Do a game that's like Final Fantasy VI, but you get introduced to the whole ensemble much earlier, and most of the dungeons are similar to 6's multi-party dungeons. I would love that. Game of Life Simulator and treasure chests. The Gosper Glider or whatever. Actually, this whole room is very, like, trollish Mario Maker level. I think there's a transition that not everyone goes through. You know, whether you're willing to accept art on its own terms or it has to like make an effort to impress you. Where if you're in a certain stage of your appreciation of media, you play Final Fantasy VII and you're like, whoa, this game doesn't make any fucking sense. I gotta play it more so I can understand what the hell's going on. And then if you start becoming a cynical asshole like me, you go, whoa, this game doesn't make any fucking sense. That's bad. It should have tried harder to make some fucking sense. Oh no, Chaos. I don't remember what's in FF2. We'll be doing that one next. If we beat FF1 early one episode, since this is part of Dawn of Souls, I'll just switch immediately to 2. Is there actually something to make sense of? Yeah. Well, it was like we were talking about with 8, where 8 feels like if you're willing to be an archaeologist and like really track down what the hell happened with that game, the information is kind of there, buried in like optional conversations and codex entries and stuff. Which is kind of neat. It's kind of cool that there's bits and pieces of what the game was supposed to be in there. Yeah, and that's a space that I struggle in. It's like, when I get the sense that this means nothing on purpose, and it's just trying to be pretentious. I don't think Final Fantasy VII is pretentious. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a localization problem, or it's like a... Sakaguchi was kind of deciding what the story was going to be about as he went along, so things aren't really set up as properly. Yeah, Ted Woolsey did the 4 and 5 localizations, and they're pretty good. What version of 6 did you play, though? I guess it's like, because Final Fantasy VI has a fairly straightforward story, there's not a lot that you can confuse with localization mistakes. But 7 is so weird that any localization mistakes makes things even harder to follow. Congratulations, Leon. Nice. How do you know you're a lunatic? Is it just a stat you can obtain at some point? Original North American SNES release, okay. Yeah, the whole situation with the Sephiroth clones is confusing as fuck. People doing different modifiers. Lunatic is one of them. Does it, like, cause them to behave in ways you can't control, or is it mostly just for story lore purposes? Oh, it affects your stats. That's kind of cool. Some choices you might have to be a lunatic for it to appear. That's cool. There's a couple parts in 6 that are a little weird, and I don't think the localization helped with it. Like, the whole situation with, like, closing the door to the land of the Espers was a little muddled. Wait, what's going on? Do we want to close it? Do we want to open it? Causes some events you wouldn't want if you're trying to min-max. Okay. I really like these out-of-combat spell animations. They're pretty looking, they got a cool sound effect that goes along with them. I really like the Final Fantasy aesthetic. Surprise. I like the lore mining at 8 and 7. Yeah, I can see that. I like that. I love the stuff that's like that in 10. Sakaguchi is good at including things that the game doesn't really comment on, that's optional, that's neat, but not necessary for putting the whole story together. So I don't disagree with you, ABC. I remember as a kid always being fascinated by the random guy in the slums with the Sephiroth clone tattoo. I guess some of it comes from a point of view of, like, Sakaguchi has these complicated themes and mechanics to the setting that he wants to introduce, and until around maybe 9 and 10, he doesn't do a very good job of setting them up really early. So they seem like they come out of nowhere a lot of the time. That was something that I felt like the start of the FF7 remake was doing a pretty good job of correcting. Like, oh, they're explaining this early, that's nice. It's not going to be a surprise in Disc 2, right? I think it irks me more in something like a Final Fantasy game compared to a Souls game, because Souls games are so bare bones, other than the optional lore text. Like, you could play through them with spending fewer than 5 minutes in cutscene and in dialogue, right? Pretty easily, not with, like, intentionally skipping stuff. But if you're going to commit to including that much dialogue and that much cutscene and that much descriptive text in your main story of Final Fantasy, I feel like that part has to work by itself, and then it can be bolstered by hidden lore, which I think they did a good job with in 10. Finding out more about Bevelle is not necessary to understanding the main plot of the game, right? Yeah, I think 9 goes a little off the rails once you meet Garland. It still works, but it's kind of like, okay, this is pretty different from the themes we were exploring up to this point. I think 10 is probably structured the most like a traditional Hollywood movie, right? I think part of the reason 7 and 8 really feel like they're meandering is that, like, the goal, what we're trying to do, keeps changing. And it's okay for that to occasionally happen as a twist, like, you know, in 6. We gotta stop the Empire, we gotta stop the Empire, we gotta stop the Empire. Oh fuck, the Empire doesn't matter because Kefka's a god now. Everyone's dead. Let's try to pick up the pieces. Like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool. So it's like there's two main things that we're doing. But 8, it's like, I gotta be a good mercenary. I gotta be a good mercenary. My adoptive mom is a sorceress or something? We have to kill all the sorceresses, but not really. Right? Like, I think if the whole sorceress thing was built up really strongly from the beginning of Disc 1, it would have worked better. Yeah, I mentioned that during the FF7 remake playthrough, that I think that a lot of the cool stuff in 7, the lore mining stuff in 7, and in a lot of like Japanese RPGs is the sort of thing where when you see it the first time, it's just bizarre, it's meaningless. You're like, what is this? What is this? What am I supposed to be theorizing about this? It's all bait for you to play it a second time and know exactly what it's referring to, right? Whereas I feel like a good mystery like that is one that it shows up and you can reasonably start to theorize, oh, I wonder if this is what's going on. Or maybe this is what's going on. And then if you play it a second time, when you know what actually is happening, you can understand more clearly what was being hinted at. But it's not just like complete nonsense until a second playthrough. So I think I enjoyed it more when I was a younger gamer and I had fewer games and I would play them over and over and over. But here where the first time blind playthrough sight read is so important, I think that ends up just being more frustrating to me. Like it happens a lot in Trails of Cold Steel, where they'll like cut to a character that we haven't met before being all mysterious and plotting, and you're like, who the fuck is this? Why do I care? I don't. If I beat this game and then played it again, I would be like, oh wow, that's G-Man. He's the big scary guy that turns into a dragon, and there's the evidence that that's gonna happen. Stumbled to Rocket Town for no reason. It feels unmotivated. Exactly. Like, I feel like it's really important in a game to know, like, what are we doing? Why are we going there? What's the ultimate goal? And not every game has to be, like, the monolithic goal that's consistent throughout the entire game. Like, you know, FF10, we have to stop Sin. The whole game. And, like, the nature of how you're going to stop Sin changes. That's kind of your, like, protagonist needs versus wants thing. And you can get some character growth in that direction and change up the plot. Yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. I thought Prey did a pretty good job, Prey 2017, of having a mystery, but presenting the mystery elements in ways where you could go, oh, maybe this is what's happening, or maybe that's what's happening. Maybe this is all a big simulation, or maybe this is all hallucination, blah, 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 blah. But then you play something like FF7 and you're like, who are these people? But again, I think the FF7 remake did a pretty good job of recontextualizing a lot of those things. Like, Cloud's PTSD flashbacks are a lot clearer that these are PTSD flashbacks and flash forwards and premonitions and stuff. So I think you're better equipped to speculate as to what they mean in the remake. But in the original, it's just this weird random text that flashes on the screen. You're like, what the fuck is this? You beat the game, you play it again, like, oh, okay, it's his Genova cells talking to him or something. Right, exactly, generic. Yeah. You always know that your goal is to stop Lavos, but the circumstances around Lavos change at least twice. And not every story needs to have that. Like, 6 doesn't have that. The main motivation shifts pretty significantly after Kefka pushes Gestalt off the floating continent. But it's as monolithic of a thing both times. Like, stop the Empire, stop Kefka, get revenge on Kefka. Not even stop him, he already won, you know? Two big things. And, like, you can do a super complicated Game of Thrones style story where all the different characters have different motivations and inspirations, and I would guess that that's Final Fantasy Tactics, right? If well localized. The end goal is to save the world, but the way you do that changes. Yeah. Ten kind of has the problem where even though you have this monolithic goal of stop Sin, that you're kind of just along for the ride. It's like, okay, the pilgrimage goes here next. But at least they kind of set out from the beginning, like, we're gonna go to these temples in a preset order. You scrub. Like, don't worry, we'll explain it to you as we go. You can have games where there's like a pretty clear goal, like God of War 2018, of let's go bury the ashes on the highest peak. But like that's not really important to what you're experiencing on the way there, right? But at least you have like a place to fixate on and look forward to and tell if you're making progress, right? You're not just like bumbling out of Nibelheim and now we're in Rocket Town for reasons. This is probably going to heal it, right? Do we have same elemental healing? No, just resistance. Again, it's like we were saying with Crusader Kings, like, if a game sets out to say, you know what, our storytelling is emergent and procedural, we didn't really author anything in here, you're going to discover it for yourself and everyone's going to have a different story. I think it's fine if the game owns up to that, but I think I get frustrated when a game is in the middle space where it's like, a lot of its story elements are copy-pasted or low effort, but it wants you to treat it as though it's heavily authored, even though it's not. So I think it's the same with like a Final Fantasy game. If the game is setting out to be like, hey, this is supposed to be a big open world, you're supposed to explore it at your own pace, it's completely non-linear, take the story as you get it, plumb the depths if you want to find the lore. Go to a theme park in 7. Yeah, I guess the original 7 has pacing issues with the whole chasing down Sephiroth theme, and they're made much worse in the remake where they'll have sequences where the pacing worked in the original and then they've injected so much new content in between Step 1 and Step 2 that the pacing just falls apart. Like, alright, I get it. They're gonna drop the plate. That seems pretty fucking urgent. But now we've got, you know, an hour of new content between now and the plate dropping. It's like, this wasn't the best place to inject new content, guys. It'd be like if they did an FF8 remake and they injected like a 5-hour side quest where Noah's hanging from the cliff, right? So anyway, if you're going to do a game that's about discovery and the lore being obtuse and having to figure out what's going on for yourself, I think it's best to like double down on that and make that the game, like how Dark Souls does. And if you don't want to do that, but you want to like be inspired by it, then the stuff that's plumbable lore depths needs to be not part of the critical path to understanding what the fuck is going on, which is what Final Fantasy VIII is, right? If you just play the critical path and don't do any of the optional stuff, that game makes no sense. From Heaven's Vault. I really liked Heaven's Vault. That game is, like, totally my shit. Linguistic archaeology game? Yes, please. Combine Heaven's Vault with Baba Is You, Eternal Darkness, and Outer Wilds. Marilith time, here we go. Don't remember fighting the fiends this fast back to back. Those who would oppose me shall burn in hellfire. God, the fiends have such cool sprites. They're like the Lufia 2 sprites. No blaze before she gets to go, please. Hooray! Oh, this theme is dope. I think I remember that bass line. Nice crit. Thank you, No Blaze. Glad these bosses get a unique boss theme. Hey! Haste plus temper equals dead boss. Let's see what the new shrine is. Earthgift Shrine, I assume? Flame Grift. Hellfire Chasm. That's different. I'm gonna see what the bosses are and see if they're even worth fighting. One of 4 bonus dungeons. Restore the fire crystal. Many floors filled with lava, blah blah blah. Ooh. Oh man, there's some cool chests in there. It's probably worth running through for the chests at least. Let's see what the boss drops are. Okay, so one of them drops a Brave Heart, which is a weapon. So that's cool. One of them drops a Lunar Curtain, which is less cool. Okay. A Light Curtain, which is also less cool. It's like every dungeon has 2 cool drops and 2 really lame drops. Ooh. And the other one drops a Kiku Ichimonji, which is a classic katana in Final Fantasy. Alright, I'll go try to do it. I need to find out where it is. And Dinosaur's version... Where is it, though? I don't think I've been there yet. Oh, I have found it. Okay. I guess it just showed it to me here. Alright, well, we'll go get out of here, and then I'll head over there real quick. Get myself a Kiku Ichimonji. I think, thinking back to video game stories, like, they definitely shouldn't be the sole metric on which we judge games. In fact, there really shouldn't be a sole metric on which to judge games. You should be like, I like Final Fantasy VII, but man, the story's weird, right? Or, I think the combat's good, but the level up system is kind of lame. I feel like a part of a game has to be really bad for it to taint the entire product in a lot of cases. Or everything about the game has to be bad, like Metroid Other M. The most playable, polished, bad game ever? What are you, high? And it gets hard to talk about when you try to break it down into the features, right? And you end up equivocating a lot too. Like, I kind of feel bad saying that I think FF8 story is bad. But I know people really, really like Final Fantasy VIII. I suppose that's true. Bad story in an RPG is worse than bad story in a shooter. Yeah. I guess you can even further subdivide that, though. You can say, like, the ideas of the story are cool. The bullet points of the things that happen are cool. Like the Final Fantasy VII Remake twist that's so controversial. I'm very much on board with that concept. That's a cool idea to explore. It's a cool story to explore it in, because the story in that game is kind of bizarre and goofy anyway, right? I just didn't like the way they went about introducing it. The way the story makes you feel is more important than what it is. Yeah, I can hear that too. I think I get sad when the idea is good and the execution is bad, because it's like, oh man, they burned this idea. They can never use this again because they fucked it up, right? Get a lot out of emotional storytelling. Right. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. I guess it's like, you can do emotional storytelling and have connective tissue. You could potentially make everybody happy, but you have to work harder to do that, I guess, right? And you have to be willing to edit in the case of something like Kingdom Hearts. I think the cool emotional sequences in Kingdom Hearts work fine if it makes sense how we get there, and often it doesn't. Oh, I don't think I can go to this chasm until I get the airship, I guess? Oh, let's go to this cool island that's shaped like a phoenix? I never ate this name. I can agree with that, Chaos. Hey, thanks, Mosmedius. How have you been? Thought of a sub-block game by any chance? I think Ori is a good example, Chaos, because I think that one works for me because they're like, okay, our strength is in emotional storytelling, so we're going to keep our story minimalist, right? We're going to leave in the emotional moments that we want to have for impacting the player, but we're not going to, like, separate those with dozens of lines of dialogue and long cutscenes, like... Like, I bet there are some minimalist movies that have some really great scenes that are beloved precisely because they're so low on dialogue. Possibly because the creators knew that they would not be very good if they included too much dialogue, right? Like, Mad Max Fury Road is probably an emotional story. Minimal dialogue, mostly set pieces strung together. Nicely on. Is that the one with the monks? Yeah, I've heard that Mad Max Fury Road was written visually, like, Miller just storyboarded the whole thing over decades. And just had this picture in his mind of what he wanted the movie to look like. And didn't really write a script for it. A lot of characterization in the animation that's lost in the remake. You can hear that. I'll have to check that one out, Sixgun. I haven't seen it. I've watched a couple video essays on Fury Road. Lindsay Ellis is a pretty good one. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to look up what the next location is. 1 second. Marilith, something something. Ship by Magic in Crescent Town. See a small gap. Okay, I think I see where to go. I think part of the reason I get so frustrated with Kingdom Hearts is because it's like there is really good shit in there. Really good shit. It's like, why is all this crap in here around the good shit? Just cut it out. I think I get clumsiness is the kind of thing where it's like all you had to do is have less of this. There's nothing easier than to not have a thing, right? So that frustrates me when it feels like there's not enough editing to remove stuff that's unnecessary. And then I get double frustrated when a creator passes something off like that as though it's like super deep. And it's like, dude, this... What's the command?
Do you think the light will beat the darkness? No, I think the darkness will beat the light.
Jesus Christ.
Like... It's not deep, man. Gets me a lot with creators that I really like too, like Jonathan Blow. He's a fucking genius. His games are incredible, but the stuff that he does feels so pretentious and frustrating. Like, there's a thing you could unlock in The Witness. It's just this famous movie. It's like this short film of a guy walking across a he's like walking across a courtyard while trying to keep a candle from blowing out. It's a really long take or something. It's an artsy-fartsy video thing. It's cool. People have seen it outside of the Witness. But, like, why is that in the game? Is he just showing off, hey, there's this cool thing that exists? Like, it doesn't fit into the theme of the game in any way. Or maybe it does, and I'm just not deep enough to get it, right? Like, oh. Yeah, the game divorces the scene from the context, right? I like it, it's cool. Like, I like the idea of the art piece. I like art that makes you ask, wait, why is this art? Like, that's fun, you know? I've told the story about the art museum Andrew and I went to that was, like, very uppity and pretentious, and, we got to the final exhibit, which was just a bunch of boxes filled with dirt. Just a bunch of golden boxes filled with dirt. And we were like, what the fuck is this? This is so stupid. Like, why is this art? And we got to the end, and at the end, at the exit sign, the final exhibit was a flat golden box of dirt that you needed to cross in order to leave the exhibit. And there was a guard standing there who, in retrospect, was almost certainly the artist in disguise. And you had to ask the guard, hey, is it okay if I walk over this to leave? And the guy was just like, yeah, it's just dirt, right? And you're like, fuck you. I get it. It's 3 college courses in indie movie development and 2 in game development. Understand the connection. That kind of shit is great, though. The dirt exhibit I thought was awesome. Like, it was playing into my expectation and then subverting it at the end. And they got me. And it felt good. But I think that's different from just, like, not knowing why you're doing something and saying, this is art. If you don't understand it, it's art. Character befriends a man who's convinced he has to cross the steam vents to save the world. The man dies and the character does it as a last wish. Like, the actual ludonarrative aspect of Braid, which we haven't played on stream yet, so I won't go into specifics, but the concept of the end is genius, it's beautiful, it's well told, it's told in a way that's subtle, I think. Love it. But most of, like, the lore entries that you read up to that point where it's, like, trying to make connections to the atomic bomb and stuff, I'm just like, oh my god. I think we saw the true end of the Witness with the live-action video sequence of him seeing the symbols everywhere. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Lupa Gamdi Do. Okay, so this is the Tiamat dungeon, which we can't do yet. Seeing patterns where it doesn't exist. Right, and if that's the point, that we added all these art sequences in the secret unlocks in the Witness, and they're there precisely because they're pointless, kind of interesting, I guess. The worst part of Jonathan Blow. Games that don't try to be deep sometimes manage to be roughly as deep as he thinks he is. Thank you, yes, I would agree with that way of characterizing it. I think there's supposed to be something else I can get to from this river, so I'm going to try to follow it here. No, you're... Please defend it, Ludifex, or please muse about it, because it's interesting to me. It's like... Yeah. It's a good game. It's really, really, really good. All of his games, well, both of his games are good. Yeah, the true ending of Baba Is You feels artsy but not pretentious. Right, just through playing Baba Is You. It is. I think this is back where I was before, right? Whisperwind Cove. Okay. I think I am frustrated by media that doesn't make sense until it's over. Like Nier Automata. I don't mind when it's like you're having a working idea of what's happening and then you get some revelation that puts all of your ideas into a different context, and now there's basically a different story if you go and look at it again from the beginning. But when it's basically just nonsense until it's over, and then you're like, oh, now all that shit that was random and nonsensical before makes sense. I think, like, to solve it, if you had someone tell me from the beginning, don't worry, it'll all make sense in the end, maybe that would help. It's kind of spoiling the experience, yeah. After beating Dark Souls and learning everything wasn't what you thought it was, that ruled. These things can petrify me, so this could be a game over situation when there's 6 of them. I know, right, Yukipo? I had that experience with Mother 3, which I still regret. I feel like I need to play that game again on stream at some point. I completely felt for Mother 3 the entire time. I guess that's an example of the good version of the thing I'm talking about, where you can, like, interface with Mother 3 as the product it's presenting to you and enjoy it in its own right during the normal playthrough, and then get to the end and be like, oh fuck. Like, I've been doing what Itoi has been condemning me for doing the whole time. All that stuff was cool the first time around, but now it's even cooler now that I know that they were fucking with me on purpose, right? Versus... this seems pointless, this seems pointless, this seems pointless. Oh, I guess now it makes sense in retrospect. Yeah, I think Ikubo's bringing up Souls as an example of doing it well, where it's like you can play Souls and it's fine. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna link the fire. And then you beat it and you're like, wait. It's all just a loop. Oh no, they're doing more of that Platinum Games combat. Ugh. One of your favorite moments in terms of character choice are ones where you don't know which trope is the one the game is playing out. Yeah, I guess I should say, like, I'd still like to be surprised in games, but I guess I just don't classify things being nonsense as being surprised. Choices which aren't clear from an ethical base, but you can't see the extent of how they'll change things. That's cool. So it's not like, do you nuke or not nuke a city? I wonder why they've got the dwarf theme in this ice cave. Hey, mind flayers! Call Wizards of the Coast. Is that Mind Blast? Classic. Yeah, right. Be Jesus, be Satan. Compelling choices in games. I don't know, I'm starting to think that it's almost impossible to provide a truly compelling reward for player choice in games. Maybe within one game in which you're willing to spend a lot of money on your player base missing out on different paths, but trying to do it as part of a franchise is, like, nearly impossible. Just for monetary reasons. Yeah. Ask you at the beginning, are you good or evil? And the moral choices would play themselves. Beyond Good and Evil. Maybe you're a pig person. It's a cool game. I think moral choice is one of those things that was like an interesting novelty when games first started implementing it. And then we all started to realize what it actually meant. Like the difference between the description on the back of the box has hundreds of moral choices and what that actually probably means. Life is Strange has most choices ultimately doing nothing rather than changing dialogue. Yeah. That way you can imagine the consequence of the choice, Yukipo, which is stronger than the game throwing away some reason why it mattered. Or the cliche scene where a character like rattles off all of your plot flags. I remember the time you, checks notes, freed the slaves, and checks notes, robbed that merchant. Thanks, game. Yep. My choices matter. Yeah, I feel like your imagination, your ability to contend with the choice itself and what the consequences might be if you explored the story to its natural conclusion is more interesting than what the devs can usually deploy with technology, given their limited budget. And a lot of that stuff works really well when you have that narrative superposition, when the game is the combination of all possible outcomes. Before you go on the wiki and you read, oh, choice A and choice B both end the same. But before you know that, it can feel pretty good to be like, oh man, I bet things were totally different if I did the other thing. That actually happened in Eternal Darkness yesterday. The game has you casting these cool spells like, you know, there's like Summon Creature and Dispel Magic and Regenerate and Reveal Invisible. And you get to a chapter where there's this giant, like, Lovecraftian ancient city, and it has this huge machine that, like, increases the power of whatever spell you cast with it by a factor of 1,000 or something ridiculous. Ooh, Flame Sword. And you're sitting there thinking, oh man, are there gonna be like a bunch of different endings based on which spell I choose to cast? And you're like, if you choose to cast Reveal Invisible at 1,000 times strength, does that just make you omniscient? Or if you cast Regenerate, does that make you immortal, right? And then it turns out, no, there's only one true answer, and if you pick the wrong one, the character just says, this doesn't seem right. But until you find that out, it's so cool. You're like, oh, this is so awesome. I could see what they're doing with this. If I do Summon Creature times 1,000, it's gonna, like, summon the god. End the game immediately. Thought that was gonna happen. Advantage times 1,000 turns off your console. Yeah. I was saying during the playthrough that even if they did like a quick kind of low effort text ending, like they do in Pillars of Eternity, like that would be fine if it just popped up and said, and then you summoned the god and destroyed everything. Game over. Bye. Flamesword animation's cool. Like the concept more than actual practice. Yeah, the more narrative a game has, the less interested you are in branching paths. I think comparing it to a choose-your-own-adventure book is actually pretty useful because no one's ever really like gotten excited for a choose-your-own-adventure book as a source of a mind-bending story, right? It's mostly just the novelty of picking different paths, holding your finger on the page and going back after you inevitably kill yourself. Oh, Heavy Rain's a cool game. I love if you do everything perfect in Heavy Rain, the ending basically makes fun of you. Because you basically had to have cheated in order to have done everything perfectly. White Dragon Ambush. Uh-oh, this could be really bad. It wasn't that bad. I gotta use Ethers on Topapa in a second. Like whether you go north or south at a path without really realizing that you're committing to a choice. I guess it's a double-edged sword because sometimes a player can be frustrated if they're making a choice and don't realize it. Oh, that's cool. It affects. I like that. That's cool. But it makes you do it anyway. Nice. More stuff like that would be nice. I guess there's a lot of like little features that look great on the back of a box for games, but as they've played out, I'm less enthused about them. Just the concept of non-linearity in general, I think, is kind of overblown. Like, it's cool when games do it well, but... Ooh, Ice Shield. Shield alive with the power of ice. Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Really? No kidding. I could buy Call of Duty doing stuff well, like... I played the Call of Duty 4 campaign forever ago and was pretty impressed by it. I know that's the magic they kept trying to recreate, right? That's how we got to press F to pay respects. Potential game over situation. Petrify the whole party. That would be very bad. Well, that sucks. You just leave the dungeon if you fall through the hole that has the item next to it. I'm gonna try to make it back to it, because I think we need that thing to progress. I think it gets you the airship. I guess since I was outside, I should use a cottage or something. 1 second. When it does have choices, it doesn't telegraph the implications. I was gonna say, is there a game that's like done the Undertale style satire on player choice? It seems like that's what Deltarune's gonna be. Gameplay non-linearity. Yeah, I was thinking about, do I actually not care about non-linearity? Being able to customize in whatever order you want. That's fair. You don't have to take ability 1 to get ability 2 and so on. I think Breath of the Wild works because you can do whatever you want in that game and it's all productive. Yeah, I do like games that are willing to let you work outside the bounds to finish the level in a way that still makes sense, but isn't necessarily what was intended. It's hard to get that right. Yeah, it's probably why I've been so active on old school RuneScape. It's a game where there's a lot of stuff to do, and it doesn't really matter in which order I do them. There's a couple natural pathways, like, oh, okay, this quest unlocks this area, which is a good place to train this skill, but I need these 5 skills to be at this level to do this quest. So it's this kind of cool, ooh, a piece of candy sequence where you go, ultimately I want to train this skill, but I have to do like 7 other things to be able to do the thing I originally set out to do 2% more efficiently. That feeling of self-direction is fun, and I guess it's technically non-linearity, but it feels more like just having a lot of equally interesting things to do at the same time. So I think that's where I get frustrated when you're playing a game and it's like, oh, it's non-linear. It's like, yeah, but there's one path that makes more sense. Dark Souls is non-linear, sort of, but you're not really going to go down to the catacombs with the skeletons at the beginning. So I guess when it's just back-of-the-box bullet point non-linearity, where it's just like, yeah, technically, you could do things... There's a couple places where you could do one thing instead of the other thing, right? Like, I think I get frustrated by it in Metroidvania games. Technically, you can get this upgrade before that upgrade. Like, who cares, though, really? Does it really matter? Does it really change the feeling of exploring the place? Like, it works in, Outer Wilds, where, like, I could go to all these planets, all of them are interesting immediately, all of them have some piece of information on them that's going to recontextualize every other planet. So I'm excited about going to them in any order, right? Every playthrough of La Mulana is super different, right? Yeah, it's like, La Mulana, I think, is the only Metroidvania I've played where its non-linearity is, like, core to its identity. Or if you took that away, it would be a completely different game. It's so different that I almost think that it's like selling it short to even call it a Metroidvania. It's a different thing. I think that frustration, though, of like non-linearity that doesn't actually matter also maps onto moral choices that don't actually matter, or boil down to select your alignment at the start of the game and your character will make all those choices, right? I'm gonna have to save and cheese this. This is super mean. I bet it's whatever the longest possible path is. You have to go through the whole cave every time you fall. This would have been an extra pain on the NES, assuming that the puzzle's the same there. Got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna get this thing, damn it. Oops, wrong save. Mega Man ZX wanted to have non-linearity as its core idea, but the execution was bad. Ended up being more a frustrating level select. Right. Yeah, I think that's... Mega Man's a pretty good example. You can pick the levels in whatever order you want, but why would you? I bet you it's the farthest one that doesn't break when you step on it. Let me save on file 1, so if I accidentally mash the button... Is it this one? No. Try the next furthest one here. The worst thing with moral choice is when they have to jump through hoops to make the evil choice make sense for any reason besides pure insanity. Take this guy's negligible amount of money if you kill him, and you need that money to save the galaxy. Oh, each boss kill changes other parts of the game outside of boss weaknesses. Right, in the original 10, I see what you mean. Do I maybe need to drop down to get to this? That would be extra mean, wouldn't it? I think I've tried almost every other spot here. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And there's certain things where you like have to have the lava level frozen to get the upgrade that's there. Good job resisting the temptation of killing little sisters for more resources. Here's more resources. I feel like the moral choice in Undertale works because you basically get a completely different game depending on which route you take. But most games can't afford to do that. And then the problem is, like, it's not telegraphed to you what you have to do to trigger each route. We're at time, but I'm gonna try to get to that thing. I saw a hole that I didn't drop in earlier. Two boss fights. Yeah, I also dislike that generic. It makes it so it's not possible to just play the game without someone informing you what you need to do in order to trigger the pacifist run. Otherwise, you're gonna have to play the game twice. Which I think is unfortunate. In a way that's not terribly interesting, too. Kind of wish they could go back and fix that somehow. Could accidentally trigger it. I think that was what the like purpose behind it was. Okay, that's what I thought, even though the area didn't make sense. Evil Eye. I haven't seen this enemy elsewhere. Right. Well, I guess the spirit of what this name is saying is that I think what's supposed to happen in Undertale, I think you're supposed to accidentally kill Toriel and try to reload your save. And get the message that pops up when that happens. And then I think you're supposed to get to the hallway where he tells you what XP means and be like, oh, fuck. Like, I wasn't anticipating that that's what was going on. I was just playing a video game and trying to gain levels. But I feel like the game doesn't incentivize you to play that way. I don't know. Like, I wonder if anyone's gotten to that hallway and been like, oh, shit. Like, that would be a good opportunity to let the player go back and change their decisions or something, right? Alright, future Marstead, you got the levistone. It should let you fly. It should give you an airship now. There's a couple things to check out. You just beat Marilith, so go to the Hellfire Chasm dungeon. Look it up. 2 of the bosses have interesting drops. 2 of the bosses have garbage drops, so fight the ones with interesting drops. Try to open the chests in there. There's some good items in there. Thanks, folks. I'll let you guys know what's coming up.